All right, this is the beginning of day 4. I'm in the shop. It's quite windy out with our Santa Ana conditions. I've got the front end of the car up off the ground, and I pulled the gas tank out, and we're going to take a look at what's going on here. I want to get the hoses replaced. And I'm going to static lower the front by just pulling a couple of torsion straps until I get my beam finished. What I want to point out is that this car, this is, I guess, the original reservoir mount. Has a dual reservoir, but somebody couldn't find a reservoir for it, so they just teed it off to a single, which is kind of crazy. All right, so we're going to go in here first, spray a little bit of WD-40 or PV Blast or something to get some of these lines loose. You can see I've got to replace the steering coupler. For now, we're going to get the wheels off. We're going to pop the tie rods, and we got to take the drums off anyways to see what the brakes look like inside and start working on that. So we're going to get going. Day 4. Gonna slam it, work on some brakes. All right, wheel caps are off. At first glance, you can take a look. Nice and clean, not a lot of grease, which is pretty awesome. All right, so I'm gonna put down the camera and put the music back on, and I want to just tear all this apart. All right, slid the front brake drum off, and look how nice everything looks inside here. The drums are even, where did I see it? Factory Volkswagen front drums on the 67. Seals look really nice. Shocks didn't look so bad. I noticed that there's the turn signal gaskets. So that's good they didn't cut that. All right, I'm gonna use my favorite tool to pop my tie rod. All right, here's a little step that makes it nice and easy for me. The sway bar, what had already popped off, was disconnected. I noticed that when I was putting the tow bar on. So that's one last thing I have to do. However, I do have to put it back into place. So I will be taking these clamps off. All right, I just loosened up the nuts for the grub screws. I've got to get my Allen wrench. Already popped the tie rod off. We're gonna go ahead and slide this side out shortly. All right, grub screws removed with a little persuasion. I got these 2 arms to come out. I didn't split the ball joints because if I was going to do that, I would just get some drop spindles. But for now, like I said, it's going to be static lowered until the new beam is built. Okay, trailing arms are off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the rest of the grub screws out, and I'm just going to remove a few of these small ones. You see that there's going to be at least 4. I might take out 6 total, but just the small ones. As you see, they're double stacked and then single stacked. So I might just take those 2 and those 2, and who knows, maybe 1 more of each. But I don't want to slam it too low because I don't want to lower the back end of it. All right, so I'm going to climb under there and get everything else loosened up. I think I'm going to need something to grip onto these with, but yeah. All right, hang on. Okay, the first one on each side is usually the toughest. So what I did is I clipped my vice grips on, tapped my ball peen until it came loose, and now they will slide out. Now, I'm putting the camera down for this because I don't want this grease everywhere. You guys are gonna have to just trust me that this is a mess. So one at a time is gonna come out. All right, I decided to put the drum back on. I'm gonna put the wheel back on, and I wanna drop this down to the ground and just to see what the height is gonna be like. All right, this is still up off the ground, but I have a feeling that's what our clearance is gonna be like, but who knows. All right, let's go do the other side. Jack stands have been removed. Let's see if I can loosen this jack one-handed. Nope. Can't set the camera down either. All right, and there it goes. All right, let's look up the garage door and see how it looks. Okay, and here's the result. Not bad. Lowered it about 4 inches maybe. Not too slammed, which I didn't want it slammed, but That's just all right. These are 135s in the front. I've got a little bit bigger of a tire size. I'm going to go with it. So, and this is also without lowered shocks. I put it together with one shock missing, and it was lower on that side than it was on the side with the shock. So we're going to go ahead and get some lowered shocks on here. All right, I'm going to pull this into the sun a little bit better. All right, like I said, that doesn't look too bad. I'm pretty happy. All right, let's roll it back in the shop and start working on the brakes. All right, as I take a closer look to it, I see that the driver's side is up about 1.5 inches taller, higher than the passenger side. I'm pretty sure that when I put the swing arms off, I was off about 60 degrees. So I'm going to roll it back in the shop. I am going to pull that whole side apart again and take a look at it. Plus, see, that's the side that I like right there. The other side, not so much. So I'm going to pull it apart and pull 2 more straps out and put it all back together, hopefully the right way. As you can see here, passenger side sits nice, but the driver's side is up pretty high. So we're going to work on that. Okay, problem solved. I wound up taking one side apart because I had it off like 60 degrees, like I said. And so I wound up taking out one more leaf. I had taken out 5 small, and then I took out 1 big. And that sets me up with the stance that I want. I don't want it slammed. I don't want to grind my front tires like I do in my ragtop. And with stock shocks on it, I actually have some travel. Sweet. This is what I pulled out of the beam. 5 smalls and 1 big, which is fine. I'm going to be using these on one of my other beams. Let me show you. Back here behind the shop, I've got a few spare beams in the bushes. So I'm getting ready to pull that ball joint one out in the back there. We're going to strip that down and put adjusters on it. All right, here we go. One last look of the stance. Project 67. Let's see if we can get around the back. Take a look at it. It's dumped just a little bit in the front, not too much. It definitely levels it out, makes it look a lot nicer. Pretty stoked. And like I showed you before, I still have shock travel. All right, that's it for this one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Come along with me on this venture. Watch me work on bugs. Do whatever I want in my retirement. Thanks for watching. Fillet TV.